This is an attack which stands out. It has been condemned by the United Nations and the new UK government, and Ukraine has promised to retaliate, but we don't yet know what that could mean. But this, as I say, is going to be seared in the memory of many Ukrainians. But there's also a hope here that some of Ukraine's allies, NATO members, might look at what happened today and want to speed up Ukraine's accession to the alliance. But that still remains a distant prospect. A warning that our report contains images that some of you might find distressing. Frantic desperation on a Kyiv summer morning. People help with their bare hands at Ukraine's largest children's hospital. Even for a war-hardened city, this was a missile strike which broke the grueling rhythm of Russia's invasion. Some of the young patients were being treated for cancer, already fighting for their lives. They illustrate how these attacks don't discriminate.
We were in the middle of surgery when the windows got shattered. The surgeon quickly covered the baby to save him. I want the world to stop this. These children are innocent.
Tatiana had a near miss.
We got here 5 minutes before it all started.
Then, the search for survivors stops for another missile alert. An underpass acts as a shelter this time. Residential buildings were also hit in Kyiv. Here, bodies were recovered. Other cities were also attacked. On a visit to neighbouring Poland, President Zelensky promised a retaliation.
Beyond any doubt, we are going to rebuild everything that these terrorists have destroyed. And beyond any doubt, we are going to respond to these savages from Russia. Everybody who was injured will get the necessary help, and we pledge to work on bringing Russia to justice.
Ukrainians often describe a daily weight on their shoulders. Sirens sound in cities like Kyiv all the time, and occasionally explosions will follow, and occasionally it's a big one. Now, you can see people singing as they're giving out water. Attacks like this don't really influence the battlefield, but what they are designed to do is terrorize and suppress the Ukrainian people. For a second time, rescue teams have to find cover because of another air alert. Only on this occasion, they sing the Ukrainian national anthem underground. A dark day for a city still defiant. Oh my God, she says. I don't know whose hand that is. I don't know if my Solomir is alive. The frantic seconds of a mother looking for her child. A Russian missile had just hit the hospital where her daughter had been receiving dialysis. After a relative eternity, she finds her alive, with a few scratches. After being reunited, we meet them at the hospital Solomir was transferred to, where they return to those haunting moments.
I told my husband on the phone, I don't know if I'll survive and if Solomir is alive. I had debris falling on me in the basement, and my child was upstairs on the second floor. I didn't know what was happening to her. It seemed we'd be buried alive.
I fainted. When I opened my eyes, I saw ceiling right next to my face. I was praying my mother was alive.
It's a view you wouldn't have seen yesterday. For a Ukrainian emergency worker, demolition is firmly part of the job description. Kyiv has strongly rejected Moscow's claim this was caused by a Ukrainian air defense missile, saying it has evidence it was Russian and deliberately launched. This attack has posed difficult questions for Ukraine. Several cruise missiles hit their targets in the centre of the city, and as far as Kyiv is concerned, the need for air defences has never been greater. Missiles do terrorise, but thus far they haven't weakened Ukrainian resolve. But if the risk to life increases, that will only impact morale.
Valentina, a nurse, was working here when the attack happened. She tells us some of the hospital's 600 or so patients now can't access critical care.
Here we help children with complicated diseases. It's a horror for Ukraine and for everyone. We ask the world to stop this war, to stop this nightmare, for our children not to suffer.
Large-scale missile strikes are common in wartime Ukraine, but this one has especially caused political shockwaves because of who and what it hit. Kyiv wants to convert this Western shock into more military support. James Waterhouse, BBC News, Kyiv.